Hello, everybody. Spider here once again. This is the Fight Card Podcast, episode 24, being joined by Aaron Suarez. Once again, Aaron, how are you, bro?
What's up, man? What's up, man? Another day.
Yeah, dude. Actually, same day. We're still here, but different episode, man. No. Hey, brother. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the Fury FC card coming up this Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to be Fury FC 54. It's going to be going down in Houston. Now, we had talked about the hours, man, not just for the promotion. I think all the Fury, the UFC Fight Pass, shows are this early. But, we have talked about the timing, man. I mean, of course, how does that affect the fighter, bro?
A lot. It could. Who knows? With a lot of fighters, I'm sure some of them train just about every single day. But typically, Sunday is going to be a lot of guys' rest day, and now they're scheduled to fight. So and on top of that, it's a 2:30 card start time. So they probably got to be there, roughly around 11, 12 o'clock or so, and then head to the back and start getting ready. So the prelims start at 2:30, 12:30, and then the main card starts at 2:30. So it's that's quite a bit.
No, for sure, man. I mean, would you honestly say, man, to the fighters that are getting ready for something like this, should they start training on Sundays?
I think, switching maybe that rest day, maybe to a Monday or something like that, or somewhere along that line, maybe train, Tuesday through Sunday. But again, you're going to have to get your body developed and used to, performing on a Sunday, at least for now. Right, because Fury. One thing about Fury is that they've also been great at getting talent into the actual UFC.
Oh yeah, bro. It's definitely a feeder company, as they call it. So
Right.
props to them for that, man. You guys are doing a hell of a job. As far as the card, man. On this one, like I said, it is going to happen in Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go up from the top to the bottom just so I can throw some names out. It's going to be an amateur card for the prelims.
Mm-hmm.
We have James Ford coming in 1-0. He'll be taking on Kevin Clark, making his debut.
Mm-hmm.
Hell of a way to open the card, man.
Yeah, man. That's a lot of pressure.
No kidding, man. I'm like, something like this, man. Let me ask you. The guy is making his pro debut. What would be a good tip to tell somebody making a pro debut on a MMA card, man?
Just go back to your training, man. Hopefully you gained a lot of muscle memory. You understood you had a pretty good camp. You came in as healthy as you possibly could. But then at that point, man, you're just trying to make a name for yourself. So just go out there and clear your mind and just perform. Whatever happens, regardless, win or lose, just go out there and just say, hey, okay, at the end of it, I did my best. But yeah, man, you gotta clear that mind. It can be quite a bit, but just know, hopefully, not a lot of people are paying attention.
Right. Don't listen up.
Right. So, so you can go out there, maybe get the nerves, but you're the first one out. Man, you're going to be the first one back in. And after that, man, you get to enjoy the rest of the night. So
and don't drink till after the next day, because Texas to the OLR be watching.
Yeah, they can't tell between a concussion and a hangover.
There you go, man. And that's good to know, man. Thank you for that. Now, this is going to be the next bout. We're looking at Oliver Jimenez. He is taking on Thomas Muniz. This is going to be at the 135-pound weight division. Let me see, 2-0. Jimenez going against 0-1. Now, something like this, there is pressure, of course, with every fight, but fighting somebody who's 2-0, does that make much of a difference?
It depends on who the 2-0 was, because they could be 2-0, but they could have been fighting some guy who just
Kevin Randleman, and
hey. So if the competition was pretty decent at 2-0, then it's something to really consider out. And then also too, even with the person being 0-1, who did he fight? Was it somebody that was legit, or was it somebody that was kind of he trained for a couple of weeks and was like, yeah, I'll fight. There's always some things you want to look into a record. It's not just the outer shell of it, because you've seen guys 0-3, but then you look at who they lost to.
Right.
Okay, well, all right. Well, that's why.
No, just like Gachi, man. He had talked about his losses being to title holders and champions, and it's like you see his losses, but who do he want to freaking top of the line, man.
Top of the line, yeah. So they wouldn't have matched them up if they weren't roughly about even. So
right.
yeah. So, but in 135 pounds, man, it's also really not a deep pool in itself. So,
right.
you're going to see a lot of these same guys. These guys will probably fight as pros, a couple of times. So,
No, for sure, man. I mean, that's kind of back in the day, man. I mean, people were fighting each other because there wasn't that much out there, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna go up to the next one, man. Jonathan King, 0-1, taking on Keaton Standridge. He's making his debut, 155. The next fight is gonna be Christopher Tovar, 4-4, taking on Gino Morelli. Now he's fighting Gino coming in 1-0. Christopher Tovar, 4-4. So he's got 8 fights. This is going to be for the 145-pound amateur title. What do you say about that, man? Is it a flip-flop record, bro? I mean, 1-0 against a fighter, 8-0?
Again, man, I mean, is this guy going to be some type of prodigy? Is he, what school is he trained out of? Is he, because anybody that gets put into a title fight, they have to have something behind them. So maybe
probably a grappling champion. I'll look him up. Gino will definitely look you up.
There has to be something more. At least I would think there's more behind him than that. Because anytime you have a guy who's only had 1 fight compared to somebody who's going to have going in with 9 or 8, I'm sorry.
Right.
This will be his 9th. I mean that's a big experience difference than we talked about even in the last podcast. So I mean this was it Morelli? I mean he's probably got something up his sleeve.
Well, he's from Louisiana, man. Maybe he trained with
Dustin.
Yeah, man. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know, man.
Yeah, so. Definitely. I mean, he's probably. I mean, we'll find out, man. Definitely. I mean, we're going over the card, so best of luck to you guys. This is going to be for the 145-pound title. The next fight is going to be Keith Ford versus Cody Steele. Now, on this one, Cody Steele is actually just that. He's a prodigy, man. This guy is actually. I mean, he's got a lot of buzz behind him. I mean, I didn't realize it till right now. I mean, but he is fighting for the 170-pound title, and it's just what we spoke about, man. The guy's got caliber, grappling experience. So something like this, I mean, 1-0 going into a title fight. I mean, of course, like you said, he's got to be somebody, right?
He's got to be somebody, man. And so if he's a grappling champion, then I would expect that fight to get on the ground really quick.
Oh yeah.
And man. I mean, they can make. I mean, we've seen those submissions coming in. ASAP, man, they can make what was supposed to be a 15, 20-minute title fight into 30 seconds. So, yeah. And,
of course, they say the faster you get it, the better, because you get slippery, man. You get sweaty, submissions don't hold as well. So, I'm pretty sure he would be looking for that, man. So, that's a good point, man. So, the next bout, I mean, good luck to you, both you guys, by the way. Next one's going to be for the middleweight championship title. This is going to be for the Fury FC title, of course. Felipe Rocha, 2-0 out of Brazil. Taking on Zachary Borrego, 3-2. Now, once again, I mean, Felipe, I mean, I haven't looked both these guys up, but it's going to be for the title. So, of course, I mean, and let me just say this, man, because obviously it is amateur, and of course you don't want to lose an amateur, man. But I mean, it's good experience for those making it into the pro division, right? So, I mean, with something like this, I mean, what are you thinking? Even if one of them loses, of course, going pro, I mean, it's still different, right?
Yeah, it's still a little bit different right now. I mean, they're just looking at it like you're building a resume. You want to be able to say, hey, man, I was the Fury FC champion at 170 pounds, 135 pounds.
Looks good.
It looks good, right? It kind of maybe gives you a little bit more leverage, but probably not.
Don't bust my bubble, man.
Yeah. Come on, with the ways, it probably doesn't do as much now as it used to back in the day,
right?
Because again, back in the day you didn't have as many promotions, you didn't have as many opportunities like this. So, I mean, just the fact that these guys are on Fight Pass, like that's a big thing. I'm sure if they haven't had sponsors already, they're probably going to get some.
No, yeah, for sure, man.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of chance for them to kind of make their stock go up a little bit higher with these things, man. So yeah, so always winning a title, no matter where it's from. Yeah, you wanna get on that.
No, for sure, man. I mean, like I said, that actually concludes the prelims. I mean, those are going to be all the undercard. Starting off, this is going to be the pro card. It's going to be the main card, man. If you had actually brought some of these names up, but Victor Gonzalez 1-3. He's taking on David Waters, man, 5-5 out of Corpus. Now, let me ask you on this one. I mean, Victor Gonzalez 1-3 record. I mean, how does that work for these two fighters, man? I mean, as far as obviously they don't want to lose, but I mean, say if Victor Gonzalez loses again and he's 1-4 after this, what would you think?
I mean, again, being on the Fight Pass, he can at least put that on his resume and be like, hey, look, I've been on here. I can get to this point. He just wasn't getting over the hump. So maybe that puts him into where he's a bigger star on maybe some of these other regional, like lower promotions.
Right.
Low, a bit more local. I don't know. Is he from the Houston area, or is he? Do you know by chance?
No, on this one it doesn't state.
It doesn't state. So I mean, again, at the most, if he does ends up losing, it's not a total loss. But of course, if he ends up winning, he's now, kind of putting himself a little bit higher up on that ladder, and can continue to climb and hopefully take the momentum into another fight. But with Waters, what was his record now?
5-5.
5-5. So again, both these guys, they need this win.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Regard. I mean, Waters now he's 10 fights in. He had a pretty good amateur run as well. So yeah, I mean, this is a very big fight for both guys. So I think just that in itself. I mean, when they're both kind of fighting for their career lives,
right?
Then they're gonna put a lot on the line. So yeah, that's exciting for both those guys.
Oh yeah, man. Actually, I just looked up his opponent's actually out of New Mexico, man.
Okay.
Victor Del Fuego Gonzalez. So
yeah. And again, and going back to New Mexico, I mean, he's not going to be short of options over there.
Right, right.
I'm sure they got.
Oh yeah, they got. I mean, the state's full with great camps, man. So
yeah,
for sure.
So again, this is probably just another step for him to kind of get into a bigger show. So yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, take advantage of it, guys. I mean, you guys are opening up the show, so of course, go out there and put on a show for everybody.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Next card up, man. It's going to be Edmonson Freitas out of Brazil. He's 9-5. He's taking on Joel Bauman, 4-1. The next fight, the one I'm looking forward to, man. I mean, all of these I'm looking forward to, of course, but Steven Pettis. Now, he's 6-5, and he's taking on Evers Anderson, 4-2. Now, Steven Pettis, man, he's actually out of the Valley, I believe. Man, he's actually, let me see. I know he's got a bunch of guys he's training with out there, man. He actually has a win over Chris Kunchik. He fought here in Fury FC.
Yeah.
But the guy himself, I mean, he's got a couple of losses, man, but he's got some great wins. I know he's got a tough bunch of guys out there. Victor Martinez, I mean, he's training with some elite fighters, bro. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to this one. I mean, this one's pretty much set. I mean, the guys, they're still less than. Well, actually, I mean, Steven's got 11 fights under him. Evers, 6. But at the bantamweight level, we had talked about that. I mean, 135 division in the pro circuit is actually pretty big, man. There's a lot of guys, aiming for that. I know, people dropping from 175 to make 135. I mean, it's just crazy, dude. But I mean, that's what they want to do, by all means, man. I'm not saying these guys did that, but I mean, I know looking forward to it, man. I mean, it's going to be a good fight. So, I mean, with what I just stated, man, I mean, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, man. I'm going to go with Steven Pettis, man, on that one. We had a 135-pound division, man. You had guys that were, for the longest time, probably fighting at 45, 55. So, when that division opened up years ago. I mean, yeah. I mean, you had a lot of guys flocking to that. So, yeah, man, that's a division that can get crowded pretty quickly. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, a lot of guys in there.
No, definitely, man. Now, I'm going to go up the card again. This is going to be next one up. It's going to be Joshua Tong, 1-0, taking on Chase Eastman, 2-4. It's going to be in the 125-pound weight division. Once again, man, I mean, this is a pro card.
Mm-hmm.
Chase, I mean, he's got a 2-4 record. I mean, of course, 6 fights in, fighting Joshua Tong at 1-0. I mean, flip-flop, or is it because, Chase, I mean, of course, he's got 4 losses, but, I mean, how do you see something like this?
Yeah. Now with the 125-pound division, man, that one I think is usually pretty shallow. I don't think you have a lot of guys in there. So, yeah, you probably will see a lot more records like this where you have a guy who's 1-2-0 or 1-1 going against somebody who's, 2-4, 4-6, or, whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, I mean, anytime you can watch the smaller guys, man, I mean, they're flying around that ring. And,
it's fast, quick, bro.
It's really quick. You don't really see them as power punches or anything like that, but the amount of damage that they can produce, the transitions when it goes from stand up to ground, ground to stand up,
quick.
Everything's quick. So yeah, no, they're very exciting. So don't let the records fool you.
Man, 125, bro. Even as a kid growing up, I don't think I weighed that. I think I weigh more than that, bro. So that's like insane, dude. But I mean, these guys are athletes, man. It's just, I mean, I'm actually looking forward to that, man. Now that you brought up the as far as the speed and definitely check that out, man. Next card up, man. Taylor Hickman, 2-0, taking on Raymond Cardenas, making his pro debut, 155 pound. And let me see, next one up, Frank Meno, 3-2, 145 pounds, taking on Laura Esteves, 3-1 out of Brazil. There's a lot of Brazilians on this card, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, with Fury being a feeder into the UFC.
Yeah, bro, everybody's coming down, bro.
I'm sure. Maybe Uncle Dana's helping out with travel, or no?
I'm not sure. I mean, I hope so, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy lives here in Texas now. But, I mean, the fact that they're bringing him in, I mean, that's pretty awesome, dude. Yeah. Definitely a lot of opportunity. We'll see, man. I mean, like I said, the whole card is actually pretty good. I'm definitely gonna be watching. It is in Houston, so we'll see, man. UFC Fight Pass, it's gonna have to be. Now, next one up, man, it's actually somebody that involves a local here, man. Somebody you've actually trained with.
Yeah.
And that I've known through the fight game, man. It's gonna be Jake Heffernan, 8-2, taking on Dimitri Ivy.
Yeah, man, the Ivy brothers.
Yeah, man. Now, Ivy, of course, his brother's been in the UFC, man. Ivy himself's a stud. The guy's done kickboxing. He's done MMA. His opponent, man, you had actually brought it up, and he actually has a win over a couple of locals, man, and Peter Stanonik. This was an MMA for LFA 43. Where do you see this fight going, man? I mean, right now, Jake Heffernan, he's coming off with one win, and this is going to be from Free UFC 47. And Dimitri Ivy, I mean, I know he's coming off a loss.
Yeah.
So how do you see this fight going?
Man, for Ivy, I think, this is another fight to kind of just restart, his jump and his climb back up. With his brother being in the UFC still and, doing his thing. This is another good opportunity for Ivy to say, okay, I belong there too, which I think a couple of years back, he actually had a shot, for a minute. So, hopefully he can make that next step in that and get over that hurdle and that hump, man, and get into the UFC. With him, man, he's always had some pretty good stand-up. His ground game is really good. I know he's training out of BTT. So, here in town, and they cross-train quite a bit. Working with a good buddy of mine, Frank. I don't know for a good long time, so shout out to Frankie. Man, I think, if he beats Heffernan, I think maybe one more fight, he can get the call up.
Man. I mean, Dimitri, I mean, he's 9-7, bro. But I mean, he's actually, the losses were to Luis Luna was one of them, and that guy's a freaking stud in the zone up from Amarillo area. He's actually fought Daniel Pinero. Yeah. So that guy's still in the UFC. So I mean, he's not. He's lost to some tough fighters, man.
Yeah, he's not losing to the manager at Home Depot.
No, I fought that guy, man. I beat him.
Win all 3 rounds.
Yeah, I'm banned from there, but you know what? I go to the other Home Depot, man. Jokes on him, bro. But man, So Dimitri Ivy, man, good luck, bro.
Yeah, good luck with him, man.
Now next up, man, it's gonna be Charles Cheeks the third. He's gonna be taking on Josh Vissel.
Mm-hmm.
Cheek, I mean, he's coming in 14-8 against a 6-2 fighter. Now, that's a lot of fights, bro. I mean, of course, like you said, experience. I'm not sure as far as who fought last or, losing streak. But with something like that, I mean, if does experience really, I mean, I know it matters, but, like, does it matter? To what extent does it matter, bro?
I think once, if they both have a lot of fights, then, experience is kind of just, you fought a lot, I fought a lot. We've seen it all, so just get ourselves in there. Now, if they have any experience where it's at the higher level, like if Cheeks came in from the UFC and then he's not back down to the regional show, well then I think that's a big separating difference. But both these guys, they've been on the same kind of shows here and there, and they're doing the same. Experience isn't going to matter too much in this particular fight. So that's where I'm at.
You see, and I'm looking at it right now, bro. Charles Cheeks, I mean, he actually lost to Ray Trujillo. Okay. He's lost to Damon Jackson, who's in the UFC right now. Yeah. And he's lost to Levy Moles, if I pronounce his name correctly.
Moles,
yeah, man. So he's
the number one ranked fighter, right?
Yes, sir.
So I mean, Levi, man, yeah.
You see, so now, okay, so
maybe that experience, man.
Yeah, well, you see, he's got a lot of good experience, bro. I mean, John Vissel, I'm gonna look up real quick.
Anytime you have, again, looking at the guys, the quality guys that he's fought, they're up there. They're coming in, and I'm sure he's gonna learn from those mistakes. I know we talked a little bit about, the experience that the Paul brothers are getting, fighting different guys. I mean, it's just, look at the opponents, man.
Yeah, bro. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting, man. Because Charles Cheeks, I mean, he's his last fight was 2019.
Okay.
And so, before that, I mean, he didn't fight till 2017, man. So he's been away from the cage for quite a bit, man.
That's what he does, man. He takes 2 years off. Let him,
Yeah.
He goes into meditation.
There you go, man. That's gonna be interesting, man. I'm looking forward to that because I mean, if Josh, gets the win, that's gonna look good on his record, bro. Yeah. He's fought a guy that's been there, so we'll see, man. Best of luck, guys. Next up, man, it's actually gonna be the only woman bout in the promotion. It's gonna be Itzel Esquivel. 4-2, taking on Celine Haga, Haga. That's how you pronounce her name. But this is going to be at 115 pounds, bro. Light. I mean, we talked about the speed of the fighters at lighter weights.
Yeah.
I mean, with women like this, bro. I mean, of course, they've got experience, man. What are you expecting with a fight like this?
Last time I had seen Esquivel, she had fought in Houston. And she's like a taekwondo specialist.
Right, she'll stand up.
So, man, throwing spinning kicks and jumping kicks and even off her back, throwing up kicks. So, I'm expecting her to be, really explosive in this. And then she also fought for Combate, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Combate, I mean, right here, man, I'm looking at it. I mean, she's she fought for Invicta, she fought for LFA. Dude, she's got a lot of good experience, man.
So she's been pretty much everywhere, and I think she's still fairly young. She's like 27, maybe 28. I don't know. Is it showing that by chance?
25. Oh, 25. Man, yeah. She's had a lot of years, bro.
Yeah, I mean, she's crammed in quite a bit in the few years that she's been fighting. So, you put her in I think she's been in every promotion except for the UFC. So yeah, that's the next step.
And I'm looking at it right now. I mean, she fought Fatima, of course, in her pro debut.
Yeah.
Fury FC, man. I mean, she's fought Desiree Jimenez, who just fought recently in Bellator, and she's got a win against both ladies. She's got a win against Brandon Narvaez out of Corpus. So I mean, she's out there, man. She's actually got a lot of experience, bro.
Yeah. So and then she's training out of Houston. So I mean, Houston's been a really good hub for any fighter, coming up.
No joke, man. They're doing good things out there.
Yeah. So I would expect her to come through and get this win and
you see, and with the experience that she has, man, even just in the fighting, I mean, she gets to win. Her opponent's like 13 and what was it, 13 and 17?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fights, bro. I mean, but I mean, she's coming off a few losses. I mean, she's fought.
That's 30 fights, man. God. No.
Yeah, man. So she, but I mean, this will look good if her opponent gets to win, man. That's gonna be a hell of a resume for her to freaking carry around, dude. So best of luck, man. The local, of course, here in Texas. Itzel Esquivel. Yeah, best of luck to you.
Yeah.
Now the co-main event. This is gonna be for the event. It's gonna be Nico Echeveria, man. He's 11-4, fighting Anthony Romero. Now. Nico, this guy should have been in the UFC.
Yeah.
Already. But this guy, I mean, he's been fighting the who's who, man. I mean, he's got a great wins. He's got a couple of losses, man. I mean, one to LaVille Simpson in Denver.
Uh-huh.
That one was actually a pretty good fight, man. I mean, it happened quick. I'm pretty sure I don't want to say he took him lightly, but it just caught him. It is mixed martial arts, so of course he took a loss. Yeah. The other one was to Victor Martinez, man, and this one, this was a controversial fight. I know the referee, Colasso, man, he was here and he was talking about this one. And, he called the fight. I mean, Victor got the, what do you call that, the stunning KO or the flash KO?
Yeah.
And, he called it. And, of course, Nico jumped back up and he was ready to go, man. But too little too late, it's just... But it's fighter safety, of course, like, Colasso mentioned. So, of course, it's safety for you guys first. But he's fighting Anthony Romero, man. This guy's Anthony the Genius Romero out of Canada.
Out of Canada?
Yeah, bro. Oh. I mean, so, talk about the UFC, the opportunities, man. I mean, these guys are coming from all over the place.
Yeah.
But, his record, man, of course, he's coming off a loss. This actually happened this year, man. He's coming off a loss. This was for Fury FC 50. He's fought for the LFA. He's a veteran of the King of Combat, KOTC days.
Yeah.
But man, he's fought. I mean, obviously, on this one we talked about it earlier, man. If Nico gets to win, man. I mean, UFC's right there knocking on his door. So I mean, of course, I'm gonna go with the local. I don't know if Anthony Romero. It says Midwest. I'm not sure. I mean, he's from Canada. Probably lives in the States now.
Yeah.
But Nico, man, I'm pulling for the local guy, Texas.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen him shoot a fight on the amateur cards before. So
oh, no kidding, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been following his career quite a bit. At least I've seen his name everywhere. So yeah, no, and he's always putting on a good show. So yeah, no, hopefully, man, he gets this win and bumps himself up into the UFC. That's at what weight class now?
155.
155, which is a hard weight class.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, that's always like the most stacked between 55 or 45 to 70. Yeah. That's always the hardest. So
you see, and that's the thing with the UFC. You're gonna find someone to fight, dude. I mean, that's like stacked. Yeah. That's like the 170-pound division, man. It's just freaking crazy, dude.
And hopefully for him, he gets his win, and then he like I said, with as stacked as they are, I mean, everybody on the roster in the UFC, they have to get their 3 fights a year. So hopefully somebody kind of drops out and that can
that's true.
That's true, in a spot where, hey, I'm ready, I'll fight.
Yeah, and it happened on the last Fury card, man. Last minute replacement. Chris, who was it? Chris. I forgot his name.
Curtis Jackson, wasn't it?
There you go, man. Yeah. Like he got picked up, so of course, I mean, it sucks for the other guy when this happens, of course, but I mean, opportunities are out there, and you can't blame him, man. But hopefully, the fight happens, it's going to be actually this Sunday, so more than likely it will happen. But best of luck to you, man. Wish everybody the best. Now the main event, bro. We actually talked about this a little bit. Yeah. Juan Adams taking on Austin Lane. Now, Juan Adams, I mean, of course, he fought recently here in San Antonio against our local Richard Odoms. Yeah. And, I mean, big dude, man. I mean, I saw him out there, and it's just like, I mean, somebody gets hit, like Richard Odoms himself said, man, if somebody gets hit, someone can hurt, because that's a big guy freaking slinging a log, But, I mean, of course, the guy, he's a UFC veteran. He's coming off 3-fight win streak. Yeah. Now, he's taking on Austin Lane, of course. We brought up his name. I mean, Austin Lane, he's actually fought from Florida. He's actually fought here in Texas quite a bit. And he's fought a couple of Texas veterans, man. Now, he's got a loss against Vernon Lewis in Waco, out of Waco. Yeah. He's got a lot. He lost to Greg Hardy, this was in the Dana White Contender Series. And, with something like that, I mean, we had talked about it, man. Greg Hardy, I mean, this guy... he came from football. I mean, he's got a lot of experience, with the pros. Of course, he made the news as far as him and his wife, the domestic dispute they had. Yeah. From what I've known, I mean, he's cleaned up this act. I mean, MMA's, pretty much fixed him for the worst. I mean, he's doing great now, so best of luck to him. But he's a UFC. He's fought UFC veterans. I mean, he's been in the Dana White Contender Series. He's got, he's been there, so to speak. A lot of people still can't even get there, so that's good. Yeah. But fighting a UFC veteran like that, man, especially for the, Fury UFC title, man, this is going to be a title fight. I mean, pressure, bro, right? I mean, both guys want to get back into, Juan Adams wants to get back into the UFC. Austin Lane wants to get in the UFC. Yeah. So that much, there's a lot to lose, bro. So, I mean, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, I mean, with Juan coming out, he's got 3 wins. So, this 4th one, could put him right back into talks. Hey, let's give him a contract. Let's, somebody drops out, now he's right in a prime spot for it. And, of course, with Lane trying to, assert himself into the UFC, that's really big for him as well. So, he had his loss last time, so now he has to kind of restart or re-jump his career and move forward. He's fought some guys in the UFC, so he, to an extent, he can hang with those guys.
Right.
It's just down to how do you get over the hump? Just like with the Ivy, how do you make that next jump and then be sustainable there? So man, a lot of these guys are man, that's a lot to fight for.
Oh yeah, I mean they get the title, of course. That's one thing. They're aiming for, but of course, I mean. There's no lie. I mean, both guys want to fight in the bigger promotion, which is the UFC. Mm-hmm. As far as Juan Adams, man, I mean, the guy is local. I mean, he's from here in Texas. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely pulling for the guy on this one. When it comes to, I guess, let me say this, because the guy, I mean, he lost all his fights in the UFC. Actually, his last 3 fights. Yeah. And after that, he came by, he kind of regrouped. Mentally, I mean, 3-fight loss, you were in the UFC, you got cut. How much does that play a toll on you mentally, man?
Man, that has to eat at you, because you just had your dream, your dream job, and now you don't have it no more, or now you got to figure out, okay, how do I, kind of gather myself and get back onto it, right? And so, the first fight out of the UFC, has to be, it has to be spectacular. Win. It has to be decisive. It has to be everything. And if you don't have a good support behind you, to help you through that, good coaching staff, teammates, if he's married, I don't know if he's married or not. I'm assuming he is.
Right.
But I mean, you got to have all that to help you out in order to get to that next fight after the UFC contract was up. And if he didn't have it, well then shoot, it's very easily he could have gone the other way.
Yeah.
And just kind of stop fighting, stop training, get out of it. But here he is, man, showing that he's all about it.
Yeah.
Trying to get himself back into where he's supposed to be. So yeah, so that's good on Juan, man.
No, for sure, man. I mean, as far as he is from Texas, man. I mean, Juan Adams, he actually fought Jeremy Hardy, who's a training partner with Nico Echeveria, man. So I mean, of course, the camp's full of freaking studs out there. The reason I'm bringing that up is because even Jeremy Hardy, man, he's fought Dale Mitchell, he's fought Richard Odoms, he's fought Juan Torres. One of the fighters that he fought was Rashad Coulter.
Yeah.
Now, Rashad Coulter, of course, he was in the news this past week, man. I mean, the guy got married. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. But he's fighting in the Game Bred, MMA promotion, man, bare knuckle promotion. So, that's one thing we were talking about on the other episode. But it's just like you said, man. I mean, it's an open window. It's a lot of opportunity. I mean, of course, just because you lose doesn't mean you got to stop fighting. This is something that you want to pursue. The same thing, Rashad Coulter, of course, he's out of Team Fortis MMA, UFC veteran. He was there, he fought, he, got cut, but I mean, he's still at it, man.
He's still at it, man. And man, and he's a big dude too. So
yeah, bro. I
mean, going into bare knuckle MMA now, like,
yeah, you see, and it's him and his opponent, of course, they're both UFC veterans, man. So it's a good freaking fight. I don't know if that's the main event, but it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I just wanted to bring that up and bring up the subject, but I mean, everything else that we mentioned, of course, is going to be for the Fury FC card happening this Sunday. It's going to be in Houston, Texas. For those that can make it, great. If you can't, UFC Fight Pass, man. I mean, that's where we're heading. Yeah. And, best part is we get front seats, man. We'll be at home. You can't beat that, bro. But, man, I want to thank you, bro. Of course, Aaron Suarez, man. Anything you want to say, man, before we wrap this one up?
On this one, man, no, man. Let me see. With Fury, man, they always put on a great show. They always have a lot of good fighters coming up. Keep an eye on those amateurs, man, because in a year or two, they're going to be on those Fight Pass more consistently, and they're going to be hopefully in the UFC, so. Yeah. No,
yeah, for sure, man. Of course, support local, man, before they become champions, what they say. So I'm all for that. Man, everybody out there, Aaron Suarez, man, once again, thank you for this, bro. And everybody out there, man, listening, once again, we are the Fight Card Podcast. YouTube channel, man, subscribe, chime in, comment, drop some, as far as what you agree, disagree, anything else you want to talk about on the future episodes. But till next time, follow up.